So we're having a great time here. We just had a podcast come out about a week ago, a little less than a week ago. But there's been stuff that's happened in the news, including in Nintendo Labo.
Yes, indeed.
Interesting. This is Nintendo going after the educational market, the STEM sort of market, which has risen probably the past 8-9 years. Mm-hmm. You know, in science, technology, engineering, math. Did I miss anything out of STEM, or is that it? Is that even right? Do I even know what I'm talking about? Is that what STEM stands for? Yeah, he said, yeah, I think you're right.
Excellent.
So we can put the screen up on here. We can show everyone what you get with Nintendo Labo. What is Nintendo Labo? Nintendo Labo combines the magic of Nintendo Switch, the magic, with the fun of do-it-yourself creations. Start with a piece of cardboard. Build a 13-key piano, a fishing pole, even a motorbike. Add your Nintendo Switch console to power it up. Hold a recital, catch a fish, win a race. With Nintendo Labo, building is just as fun as playing. Have fun discovering how it all works. You might even invent new ways to play with each Toy-Con creation. So, what do you get with it? Well, you get a laser-cut cardboard with instructions how to put it together. You get the software, which is probably instructions and mini games to use your creations. And there you go. You have a motorbike right there. That's actually pretty cool, I have to admit. I like that. Then there's also, the robot jetpack with like arms and legs moving around, or not jetpack, just a battery pack.
You'd probably look pretty cute as a robot.
I would. And you can customize your creations. You can draw it, and you get a Guy Fieri looking motorcycle handlebar going on there.
No, bad.
Or you can have the
donkey sauce. Who calls their sauce donkey sauce?
Guy Fieri, that's who. So then you have a cute little insect-looking thing there that they drew, and so first impressions I thought were mostly positive on social media. It was trending. People were like mostly positive. This is a cool idea for kids. They're going to have something to do in school potentially with this. This is something that teachers in a science class will buy tomorrow. They're like, this is something like, oh my God, this can make learning fun.
Does it make sense?
I know, but they can still pre-order. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying in theory they'd buy tomorrow. So we got to put up with. So there's going to be two available, correct? One at $69.99.
One at $79.99.
The robot one, the giant robot one, is going to be $80.
Yeah.
And then the normal one, the fishing pole, piano, motorbike one, is the cheaper one, correct?
Yeah, Toy-Con set one is the $69 one, $70. And I think that's actually the far more interesting one. People love the way the robot one looks, but it's a one-trick pony. For $69.99, you get the 6 toy controllers. That's 6 projects. I think people who think that this is overpriced aren't necessarily thinking about...
If they think it's overpriced, they've never bought something like this before, a do-it-yourself kit, probably.
Perhaps. So, I look at it this way. You look at a package of mini games that Nintendo is putting out. You figure they're not going to sell that for less than $49.99. That's $50.
Less than 60 at this point. Probably.
If you go buy a quality... I don't know, anyone in here papercraft? Papercraft is fun. If you go and you buy a set of 6 nice papercraft projects, it's probably going to run you about $15 to $20. These are heavier cardboard. It's not like Nintendo's cutting you a discount here, but I don't think they're particularly overcharging, especially on the Toy-Con pack. If I were to buy this and take it home, back to Buffalo, and say, do this with my niece over the course of a week, I would consider that money well spent. Spending time with family, you're going to have fun with it, and if they use it afterwards, great. But I think one of the other things is, I think the cardboard is really only the beginning of what we're going to see with Labo. I think within 6 months, we're going to start seeing 3D printing. I think we're going to start seeing custom builds. I think we're going to start seeing a lot of creativity that goes beyond cardboard.
You mean from the mass market, or from other vendors, third-party companies that will pump these out?
No, I just mean people who get into this.
People get into it and said, like, I want a piano that's not cardboard, maybe it's plastic.
When you start talking about, people who are going to maybe use this in STEM curriculum, you forget how, maybe we forget, that high schools have a lot more technology than they did when you and I were in high school. A lot of high schools have multiple 3D printers.
What rich school did you go to? Mine didn't have that. What are you talking about?
Neither did I. I said,
that's what my tax money's going to? 3D printers? All right. Okay.
You want kids to learn technology or no? So a lot of high schools have this. I could see that being a big thing as part of a STEM program, and then
that makes sense.
Evolve beyond the cardboard and the possible construction.
I guess it also depends upon how open-ended this software could potentially be. So maybe there'll be a crafting program built in where it'll be like, okay, try to build your own little thing. What if you build your own little knockoff of what we have, and almost like Lego set. Yeah, you can follow the instructions, but you can also go off on your own and build something eventually. And then maybe I'm harkening back to all the awful, cheap Wii controller contraptions you used to see in the store, like all the freaking bowling balls and the tennis rackets and the baseball bats. What if those same companies want to make money? What if they come up with something to spin off on this, to help kids create in some way? So it actually be useful junk, and not just junk, that'll evolve from this. Because if it makes money, you're going to have third parties in China pumping this crap out. They'll come out with their own cardboard laser cut designs, potentially, if it can be worked in. They'll come out with their own plastic contraptions to snap on. I think the sky could be the limit for something like this if more and more people get it. If this is a true hit, this will explode. In my opinion, I think this would be something that explodes. This will be like the hottest, not just like video game apparatus, but maybe just general toy item for a certain age demographic. Does that make sense? Is that possible? You see that? Like, this is so early that we don't know entirely where this could go yet. We don't know what game companies are going to adapt something, technology like this. Because now all of a sudden you have something where you have all these game companies go, why didn't we think of that? Like, why didn't we think of building a contraption that can come with the game for whatever purpose? You want to know why I'm really actually excited about this? Perhaps a return of Sega Bass Fishing. Oh, Sega Bass Fishing.
That's really what I'm most excited about. Is I want to build the fishing rod and then make the colors accurate to the Sega Bass Fishing rod, and then I want to fish. That's what I want to do. Oh, and I also want to make this keyboard.
What do you think when you hear people say, well, it's not going to be that durable, this cardboard, or it's going to break down over time?
Well, cardboard, if folded properly, is actually extremely durable. And sure, it probably will break down over time. Nintendo has said that the templates will be up to print. Who's got that kind of printer? Well, libraries, if you have a big library.
They can print out cardboard with the dotted lines on it to fold?
Or you can hope you have a steady hand and use scissors. And if you can't print that, then I'm sure you can just print it on paper and trace it and cut it. Some of these things, they're using reflective tape, to bounce around the infrared beam. So I'm sure there's ways, you just go to Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever and get a roll of reflective tape. But
either way, like I said,
I'm sure Nintendo is working on a way to make sure that these can be replaced.
Not Nintendo. Again, third parties will just take the design and say, okay, you broke your robot kit, here it is for $4.99 on eBay or whatever. That will pop up if this is popular enough. There'll be no worries about replacements. I can almost guarantee you. The market will figure that out, in my opinion, if it's popular enough. Someone will come in to fulfill that need for that. So that, to me, is not a concern. That's going to happen at some point.
Oh, the motorcycle reminds me of Hang On. So
exactly. It has a pedal.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. This is why I like it too, though. I think it's charming as hell to have a cardboard controller. And again, harken back to all the PS2 days. You got to buy the giant steering wheel and the shifter and all the heavy metal pedals. And then what do you do with that? Where do you store all that? It becomes garbage in the long run. Well, and plus, it's a lot more money. Right. Versus cardboard.
This is cheaper. My biggest concern, though, is actually where do you store
cardboard?
All of this.
Have you seen my garage? It is stacks and boxes of stuff.
Not the example you want to use, Patrick.
Okay, but cardboard's storable, it's stackable. You can break it down.
How many times?
How many? I don't know. Boxes, you can use tape on boxes, You get the tape gun. I thought you were a cardboard proponent. Now you're anti-cardboard.
No, I'm pro-cardboard.
Is this turning into Secret Hitler Cardboard Edition? So this is turning into?
I'm just saying that there is the issue of space.
Space with cardboard.
Jesus Christ, it still takes up space. It doesn't matter.
Cardboard is thin. You can stack
So
it.
you're going to rebuild these every time?
Not every time, but say after a couple months your kid wants to put it away.
You're the fascist.
You put away Legos. Right? You don't keep Legos in giant castles. You break it down. You put it into a box.
How many people build a Lego set and then immediately break it down?
I didn't say immediately.
That's not a lot
I said like 2 months. After you get tired of it and your Adventure of Link cartridge finally arrives from Sears in April, and you've been crying every day watching the UPS truck drive by past your house, that got graphic. But the whole point is that this is better, Ian.
Yes, than having $80 steering wheel.
$80 steering wheel
that I have to give away for free at Luna because I'm never going to bother trying to.
I'm thinking about Ian's job 20 years from now and how much easier it'll be thanks to Nintendo Labo. That's what I think. That sort of disagrees. He's leaving. He's like, no, you guys are off on this. That guy's like, nope, this isn't for me, Labo. Speaking of that, the collective response to Nintendo Labo and overall general this isn't for me attitude has been kind of disheartening and disappointing, more so than surprising. Like, if you're a 30-year-old, 40-year-old, you're a single guy, you're a collector, you're not into this, you don't have kids, yeah, you can say, yeah, I'm not interested in this. That doesn't mean that swaths of other groups of people won't be interested in this, and that it shouldn't exist just because you don't like it and think it should exist. Doesn't mean it shouldn't exist for other people. And that's sort of the weirdest reaction I've seen to this.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is too much money. Kids aren't going to be able to afford $80. I don't remember buying my own Lego sets when I was 10. I didn't do that. My parents did that. My parents were buying me all the goodies I got on Christmas and my birthday party. So the price is not an issue.
You didn't do your own Christmas shopping?
For my little Pat with a Toys R Us, buy my own Lego sets. Who here had Lego sets in like the late 80s, early 90s? Do you remember that they were more expensive than NES games? A lot of them were, the big sets.
My goodness, my brother had like the first big castle, my younger brother.
Yeah.
And I mean, that was like the only Christmas gift he got.
Yes.
That shit was like $100.
Yes, and that's late 80s money. So this is not that expensive, especially again when you look into educational, craft things that are out there, project. So you go into, I haven't been to one of these STEM workshop places where you can buy your own things. I can imagine they're not all cheap.
There's
anyway,
projects, tests, rubrics, that sort of thing.
Yeah, the Radio Shack old kits. Remember the Radio Shack ones? Some were cheap, but some were expensive back then. There was a gradation.
You're coming dangerously close to me lamenting the death of Radio Shack. So
I wanted to buy the employee shirt off their back.
Shit.
Okay, so we're being very sad now about the death of Radio Shack. There's some still around. Anyway, Ian, to those collectors out there who don't, or just gamers that don't like this, what would you say to them?
I'm gonna say I don't really want to get my blood pressure up.
You don't get your blood pressure up personally, or over them?
I mean, it's really nothing different than what you said. So don't buy it.
Don't buy it.
That's
and let kids have fun, you old curmudgeon. That's what I would say.
What I mean, honestly, what I hope here is if those people really don't want it, I hope they really don't buy it and don't just say that and then go out and buy one and keep it sealed and try to hold on to it like a collector's item. I hope this actually gets in the hands of people who want to use it.
Yeah, and it's not marketed towards adults. These are all children and preteens that are using this stuff.
No. I mean, it's kind of marketed towards me.
It's marketed towards you? Will you get the robot? Will we fight it out, robot style?
I have no interest in the robot one.
No, that's my interest. I'm thinking Iron Man add-ons and stuff like that. No.
So for the first time ever, you're more childish than me.
First time ever?
Well, maybe not. But
have you heard about my love for Friendly's ice cream? This is the first time you're hearing about it.
No, all right, never mind.
All right. Just by applause here, who, if they're not going to get it for themselves, will either get this for like a niece or daughter or son or cousin or someone? By applause.
Cat dog.
All right, that's like 30% of the audience, maybe 35%, and the rest of the audience has no soul because they don't enjoy the magic of childhood creation. Kids can learn how stuff works. Come on, guys.
Well, that is one other thing I wanted to point out that I think people miss is every step of the way when you're building these on the Switch screen, they explain to you how it's working. They show you how it's working. You have to test it at every step of the stage.
Oh yeah, that's right. You test it every stage. That's really cool.
So they actually, at least for the kids who are using it, they are literally teaching you how the technology works as you are making it. So
sure.
I do think that's very interesting and educational.
And Sony and Microsoft would have never done this or thought of it. What did someone say? This is the most Nintendo thing ever. And it is.
Or if they did, we were joking.
Outside the box thinking.
Hey, good times elbow.
Yeah.
We were joking last night in the car. If Microsoft did it, there would have been a lot of dubstep music. The first kit would have been make your own. How many young children in this room?
Okay, that's on 18 and over.
Make your own fuckable bazooka.
That would have been the Microsoft
That would have been the first Microsoft kit.
And the Sony version just would have been this, but just cheesier and
would have been dry. Would have been real dry, boring, like a packet of saltine crackers. And I love Sony systems, so it's not a fan.
They just would have missed the mark entirely. They would have went for like, what would college kids want to put together? What would they make in their dorm room? And just totally just missed the point of it entirely.
So we would have gotten a Bob Marley tapestry?
Maybe. Your own sofa seat, do-it-yourself kit. I don't know.
All right.
So I think this is great. I don't know how many. By the way, I don't know with their robot suit how many Joy-Cons are being used there. Like 7. There's like one's on his feet, on his back, and on his face. It looks like that's going to be nutty. All right. So that's all we have on this topic. This is going to be a huge seller, I think. I predict it'll be a huge seller.
Yeah.
Ian kind of agrees.
No, I do.
All right. So
we'll see how much steam it carries later on. If they get more creative, how many more packs they release.
Yeah, I mean, again, the sky can be the limit. What's going to prevent other third parties from doing their own, using this, figuring out, oh, these Joy-Cons, now we have spatial placement we can do things with. Oh, we didn't think of that until Nintendo showed us, and that could be a thing.
I think you're just a touch more enthusiastic there.
Oh, that's rare then. You should give me credit, Ian. My enthusiasm, I'm old. I'm a curmudgeon myself. All right.